I feel just like a purple Pikmin, Reggie Fils-Aimé. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello, San Diego! This is Modern Escapism Con, and my name is Mr. Oodles O'Dim, Chief Executive Officer of Modern Escapism, Inc. Joining me today, Vice President of Creative Services, Mr. Gadget 8-Bit.
Hello.
And European Head of Art and Marketing, Miss Candy Machine.
Hello there.
President of Social Media International, Mr. Stig, couldn't be with us today, along with Head of PR and New Correspondence, Mr. Kopman. Mr. Big Kopman. Fuck it, he's away. I'm not getting it right. Yes, due to a majorly foreseen circumstances, they both can't handle the sesh by the looks of things.
I think Biggie's actually ill. Like, it's not the sesh based.
So he says.
Yeah, everyone says that. Oh, I'm ill. He means you're hungover. No, he's poorly. Get well soon, boys. So it's just a threesome, and it's how I like it, really.
Do we just cause absolute chaos today?
Let's do it. The rules
Fuck it.
thrown out
Why
the window.
not?
However, before we get into this crazy show, please consider becoming one of our sexy and incredible cool patrons to help us divide and conquer the podcast world. Details are in the show notes, and mainly check out our website, modernescapism.co.uk, for more exquisite content and links to everything we do. And now, it's time for our oldest segment of the show. It's Biggie's Breaking News as of last week, hosted by news intern Candy.
Actually, it's Tits McGee.
Tits McGee. Sorry, it's the teleprompter.
I will read anything that's on there. Yeah, I got quite a bit of news for us, actually, this week.
Let's get stuck in. I'm starving for news.
Starting off with Stranger Things. So, Season 4 episode lengths have been revealed. Holy shit. So, Stranger Things Series 4 is being released on May the 27th, which is 3 years, by the way, after Season 3. Netflix had just released the rundown. 3 years. I think they... I think
tomorrow, as you're listening to this as well.
That's right,
wow.
Yep. So, tomorrow, for Volume 1. Episodes 1 to 6, approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes each. So already a little bit longer than previous episodes. I think they were about 45 minutes to an hour before.
45 minutes, yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, then episode 7 we've got is 1 hour 38 minutes. Whoa. Episode 8 is 1 hour 25 minutes. And episode 9 is a whopping 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Good Lord.
And then I can get rid of Netflix.
Forever. Yeah, exactly,
Forever.
Which is, I think, is probably... Well, no, actually, there's a caveat to that, which I will tell you in a minute. It should be noted, actually, that every episode, they spent over $30 million to produce every single episode.
How are they making a profit at all?
So this is a $300 million series.
There's going to be some executives sweating, aren't there?
That's got to be the most expensive
to
series made, surely. That's more expensive than Game of Thrones.
It's more expensive than fucking
probably.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is actually being
David Harbour's getting a rate wage.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? It's actually being released in 2 separate volumes, so you can't delete Netflix until July, unfortunately. So Volume 1, which is episodes 1 to 7, will release May 27th, so tomorrow if you're listening. And so the last episode 7 is going to be the 1 hour 38 minute one. And then Volume 2, which is the 2 final sort of bumper episodes, are going to be released on July the 1st. And this is the penultimate season. I thought it was the final one, but it's not. There's going to be one season after this.
What?
And then, yeah, I didn't realise that either. I just, when I was doing my research, apparently there's another one.
I thought it was the last. That means I will cancel Netflix, but then wait for a trial next time.
Exactly.
In 3
Change
years'
your email.
time. Netflix is not going to exist in 3 years' time.
Well, you would think there's at least going to be a time jump, isn't there? Because those kids are full-on adults now. I'd be surprised if there isn't a time jump in this season, because from what I understand, they went back and they did a few like reshoots, and they certainly did a lot more filming after they said it was wrapped. Because do you remember how long ago we saw that first trailer for it?
Yeah.
It was.
I'm predicting it now. Do you know why we've had like homages to 80s films and stuff? This new series is going to be 16 Candles, John Hughes, just all over it. Just puberty,
Yep.
In your face.
So looking at it, I just found a statement from the Duffer Brothers, who are the showrunners, and they said, we had all the scripts before we started shooting, so we could look at the whole thing as a whole. We outlined all of season 5, so it really is 4 and 5 are like a piece. And this was due to the 6-month hiatus we had due to the pandemic. So yeah, they wrote season 5 as a continuation of 4, so you're going to get a nice big cliffhanger at the end of season 4, Oodles. You're going to get your 2-hour epic ending piece, and it's going to be a tune in next time.
I really
fuck it all up.
I adore Stranger Things from every fibre of my being. I know a lot of people are, for some reason, against it, but it's a love letter to my youth and everyone else's youth and stuff, and I think it's sensational. That and probably The Witcher are the only things that make Netflix worth it for me, and because they don't come out often, I can get away with trials. I've got many emails I can create. Unlimited, some would say.
I wonder if they'll switch to releasing things weekly to keep people subscribed, because most other streaming services do, don't they?
That's how they get you, innit? That's how they get you.
Exactly.
They're just when I'm trying to get away, they're pushing me back in.
That's clearly what they're trying to do with this break, isn't it? Where they're like, they don't want people to spunk the entire season in one day.
Yeah.
So they're forcing you to wait like a month.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're building the hype machine, the artificial hype machine. It's smart, I think, because there's going to be like all your internet websites, your IGNs and stuff like that. We're going to be just on this big Stranger Things trick for a long time, and it's clever. I think it's clever. So, yeah.
Money grabbing is another way of putting it, but yeah.
Well, capitalism.
Moving on. Norman Reedus may have done a whoopsie. So Norman Reedus may or may not have unintentionally announced a sequel to Death Stranding. In a recent interview, he was asked about Death Stranding, the original, and he mentioned, yes, we just started the new one. So whether that's a Death Stranding 2, whether it's a new IP, I'm not sure. But in response, Kojima tweeted out a handful of pictures of the pair of them with the caption, "Go to your private room, friend." One of the pictures, I might add, is Norman Reedus sat down with Kojima behind him with an axe to his head. So I don't know if he got a bit of a bollocking from Dad there, because to me that sounds like a parent telling him to go to the room.
They are like real life best mates, aren't they?
I think they are very close.
They go on holiday together and stuff like that.
With this translator, though, because Norman Reedus doesn't speak Japanese and Kojima doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
That's got to be awkward. You go over for your dinner with your best mate and it's all routed through a translator.
That's fucking wild, isn't it? That's absolutely wild. But I remember Kojima said when Death Stranding came out, like, I'll work with Norman again, even if it's not Death Stranding. I'll have him with the Norman anthology or something like that. It was translated, so I'm fine, because he was good in that. He was really good in that.
And it was him that was going to be in Silent Hills as well, wasn't it? So I'm sure they'll probably be creative partners for a while. I don't know how I feel about Death Stranding 2. I was saying it to Gadget, and sequels to things that I love make me a bit squeaky bum. Like, it was so perfect as it was.
I'm not sure, given how it ends, that it's open for a sequel either. Really, it's like
you're thinking about this the wrong way, guys. Prequel.
Yeah, and there's other characters.
A lot of things happened before that game began. A lot of things.
And the DLC as well. You see a little bit of Fragile's backstory as well, so it could potentially follow another character, which I might be touching on in my main subject, by the way. But we'll see.
Foreshadow it.
Moving on from that, so Marvel have acquired the license to use Stan Lee's likeness within Marvel movies and more.
I hate this.
So yeah, Marvel have struck a deal with Stan Lee Universe, which is a venture between Genius Brands International and POW Entertainment. That will allow them to use Stan Lee's likeness for the next 20 years, it says. So as well as cameos in films, he could potentially also appear in games and theme park rides, that kind of thing. Genius Brand's CEO has said the audience revered, help me out, revered Stan. And if it's done with taste, they revered Stan. That's how we say it down
Stan,
here. But
episode title already.
That's how we say it down here. You Northerners just don't get it. And if it's done with taste and class and respectful of who he was, it'll be welcomed. He's a beloved personality, and long after you and I are gone, he will remain the essence of Marvel.
I don't like it. It's disgusting.
Milk him either in death.
Yeah, he's just a fucking cow, isn't he now?
Oh, there's going to be more NFTs of him, aren't there?
Oh, don't.
I mean,
NFTs are dead.
Stan Lee stopped writing books in about 2005, and he became like a figurehead rather than a boss. And like, he did write some of the best books ever written, but it's just cameo porn, and I'm getting sick of it, to be fair.
Do you not think, I mean, surely what they paid for that would go to the Stanley estate?
I hope so. Because there's a lot.
Must have done, surely.
That estate is really, it's got a lot of fingers in charities, which is a good thing. They've got a dyslexic charity that they launch and stuff like that, which is big for a publisher like that. A dyslexic charity, absolutely.
I guess playing devil's advocate here, it could just simply be that they want to use his face for things like commemorative merchandise and stuff like that, like stuff that celebrates Stanley rather than
that's
maybe
what
not
I
pop
read
figures,
into it.
But like, it's one of the things because there's a wealth of his voice out there, but I don't think they're going to like deep fake his voice to give him dialogue or anything.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll do that. If it's just his face, like I got the commemorative Stanley trophy when he passed. I had to get it. It changed my childhood. Do you know what I mean? It helped me get through a lot of stuff. He's a master, one of the best authors and writers ever created. But people don't see him as that. They just see him as a comic book guy. But yeah, he was a fucking author. He was a great author and storyteller and magician when it came to narrative. He wasn't so much artist. He didn't draw anything. He just created it. Do you know what I mean? It's just I don't know. I think like the bastardizing his warm corpse already.
Well, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you can't say yay or nay to what he's being used for.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think if money wasn't an issue, I quite like that he's going to be kind of memorialized a little bit, even if it's just him on the front of a magazine that flies past the camera or something. I think it's
get him a fucking statue in New York. Get him a statue. They give statues to lesser people, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's a really good idea. Let's do that. Let's get that petition going.
Change.org.
Sponsored by Modern Escapism. Fall Guys is finally going free to play. I have to say, it was news to me that it wasn't free to play in the first place.
I was about to say, isn't it already?
Should have been.
It should have been. Well, there's a wrinkle to that news as well, because if you're a PC player, you can't get it on Steam anymore because Epic have bought the rights to it.
Store, yep.
Is that a big problem for PC players? Do they not like switching stores? Does it do your head in?
It's not so much that people don't like switching stores. The problem is the Epic Game Store still lacks a lot of functionality that Steam has. But it's also a lot of players just really don't like this kind of taking the choice away from players.
Yeah,
like for instance, like I have the Epic Game Store and I have Steam, but all of my online friends are on Steam. You know, and Steam has much better. I only use
Steam. It's the only thing I've ever used.
Steam has much
PC.
better chat capabilities and much better like online networking and stuff like that. Whereas Epic is like really bare bones.
I've got trading cards.
I've got free games on Epic. I've never bought a game on Epic. I've got all the free games they put out.
I bet you even have a credit card linked to it, do you?
Nope, not at all.
Exactly.
Not even my PayPal. But like they did the same thing with Rocket League. Like Epic put a lot of money into Rocket League and took it off Steam.
Oh, see, yeah.
I think it's just.
I get what you mean. Yeah,
it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just a bit of a scummy move.
Yeah, it's a bit Monopoly, isn't it? It's a bit. Yeah, it's a bit.
It's Tim Sweeney throwing money to get customers. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
I liked Fall Guys for a weekend when it was free on PS Plus, wasn't it?
That's right. I was trying to figure out how I got it because I certainly wouldn't have paid for it.
It was good for that weekend.
Right.
It was fun. We talked about it. It was a laugh. That's it though, isn't it? A weekend.
Yeah, I don't know what. The last time I played, I play it very rarely. The last time I played it, there were a few new stages, and it was all sort of like neon coloured. So I don't know what's been added since. Also, I should mention it's going cross-platform as well.
Oh, that's
so Xbox and PlayStation players will be able to witness cheating firsthand.
Every time I played Fall Guys, it just made me want to go and watch classic Takeshi's Castle.
Yeah, exactly. That was literally it. I played it probably for the first week that it came out on PS Now with Super Natty Cat, and I was watching her because when you die you can watch your friends play it if you're in a group, and she was about a hair away from winning. I've never won 6 stages. In fact,
I won once.
That's some bragging
Felt
rights.
good. No, everyone did. Everyone did in that weekend. It was one of those things like when you win at a battle royale game first time. Like I've won. Like you weren't fighting real people.
Yeah.
One of those moments. I think
there's not that much. I mean, it's half luck, isn't it, with Fall Guys? It's not necessarily all skill. It's quite fun though. I remember I got to one stage, and it was the penultimate stage. I think it's the one where you're like on a spinning thing, and there's the bits you have to dodge to stay on this rotating, like sausage.
Yeah.
And for some reason, probably drunk, I thought we were at the top of a slide, and I think at that point there was only about 6 players. And to get the run up, I just, as soon as it went go, I just jumped off the fucking side of it, thinking, right, I'm going. Nope, I just committed suicide.
I didn't win on the final stage. I won on the one before the final, where it was you step on platforms and they drop randomly.
Yeah.
And everyone went on this one thing, and I thought, fuck it, I'm going to be the outlier. And I went on my own, and I was the last one standing, and I won automatically. Nice. I was like, yeah.
So you didn't even get to the last stage.
No,
that's incredible.
Never. Good times.
Moving on, Giancarlo Esposito is to be the voice of a new smart home assistant. Bless you. Sonos have launched a new voice control software to rival Alexa. And they've chosen Giancarlo Esposito because he's a voice that's familiar to many US customers. He does have the voice. But he plays such a smooth baddie though, doesn't he? He has the voice.
Yeah, he's got a sexy voice.
Big ASMR vibes. If he's not instantly familiar to you, you might know him from his roles in Breaking Bad and The Mandalorian, and the most recent Far Cry as well.
He's the only good thing in that.
The Boys. In Far Cry. I never played it. What about the Sausage Dog? Oh yeah, that one. What's it called? Burrito or something like that. Yeah.
Some kind of racist connotation
Chiquito.
name. Something like that. Something like that.
There's a crocodile as well, isn't there? Like Mr. Bitey.
Crocodile's good. Crocodile's fun. But yeah.
Yeah, I never. I didn't enjoy the last Far Cry actually. Didn't get on with it.
Get back to Far Cry 2. Come on.
To be fair, the only Far Cry I played was Far Cry 4, I think. And
2's the best, still.
I stopped playing because I came across a really nasty badger, and he wouldn't let me pass, and that was it for Far Cry for me.
The honey badgers, they were.
Yeah, he was
devils.
a
They were
bastard,
devils.
Absolute bastard.
I've played them all, but 2 is still the best because it had proper systems to it. It was a good game.
Nice. Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai has been announced as a new animated show from HBO Max. Exciting!
Oh, so we'll never get that. We'll probably get it on Now TV.
Yeah,
Now
we'll get
TV,
it on Now
probably.
TV.
Yep. So, Secrets of the Mogwai will centre on 10-year-old Sam Wing, who's the future shop owner, Mr. Wing, in the 1984 original Gremlins movie.
Yeah.
And how he came to meet the young Mogwai Gizmo. It's to be set in 1920 Shanghai and will feature Chinese culture and mythology heavily. So that's quite exciting.
Can I say that Sam Wing is the reason that town was overrun by gremlins?
He wasn't very responsible, really, was he?
He sold it to the young lad's dad, dodgily. When his granddad said, "No, we're not selling it. We're not selling this. It's not for sale." He sold it so he could have a colour television, which he did have in the sequel. He got that colour television.
That's nice to see character growth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so possibly not the best decision on his part ever.
No.
We do have a cast of actors that will be playing the Wing family. So we've got Ming-Na Wen, James Hong, B.D. Wong, and Isaac Wang. Sorry, I'm not laughing at Wang. I'm just laughing at the the voice.
You're laughing at Wang.
No, I'm not laughing
You're
at Wang.
immature.
I'm laughing because all the names rhyme.
Wang's a legend.
When
I'm
Hong.
gonna have to cut so much of this out.
No, when Hong, Wong, and Wang. Sorry.
We've just lost our 3 Chinese listeners.
We're big in China, don't be daft.
It's not funny because it's Chinese. It's funny because they rhyme.
I'm going to save this audio and just send it to you randomly in the years to come.
Literally, I'm sweating. I can't. It's hard.
Do you know them times when you laid in bed and you're like, I can't believe I said Win, Wang, and Wang. You laid in bed and you want me to sleep.
Anyway.
They are normal, good, hard-working Chinese names. Get a grip of yourself.
Quite right. The Wangs, well-known hard workers.
Absolutely.
It will be produced by Amblin Entertainment in association with Warner Brothers.
She's still going. She tried so hard.
I tried so hard.
I love it when Candy gets the giggles. It's the best
You're
thing
leaving
in the
this
world.
in. This is what people come back for every week.
Right, I've got it. Not looking. So it's going to be produced by Amblin Entertainment in association with Warner Brothers Animation. And so far, I don't think we'll have a release date, whether it's going to be a difference between, because it's, like you said, it'll be released on Now TV, so we might have to wait a little while between the American and UK release, but hopefully not. I'm really excited for this. I really want to see.
I love Gremlins.
I wonder who it's going to be sort of. Do you think it'll be aimed at kids or sort of more
The original
adults that grew up with Gremlins?
the original was a 15, I think. And his sequel was like a 12. I think the certifications were different back then as well, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Before they modernised them. So
It would definitely
I'm
be a
not
PG now,
sure.
I think. You would hope there'd be
They
a
could
bit
get
of adult
away with it
stuff
being
there.
PG. Like when they died, it was always green blood and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
that's what I mean.
in the first one, you had a dead Santa in the chimney. You had him stringing dogs up on fairy lights. You had him doing also. The first one was like a fucking horror film by the end.
It was definitely a horror film because I actually had nightmares about it. I remember probably one of the first times I actually got a nightmare from watching a film. My mum
The
wasn't
second
pleased
one,
with
I think the most horrible part of the second one was Hulk Hogan. He was in it.
Yeah, you're right. Ripped his shirt off.
That's about it. Hey, brother! Ripped his shirt off.
Well, they
Yeah.
were watching Snow White as well, weren't they? Was it Snow White or something like that?
Something stupid.
Yeah.
Love Gremlins, love it.
Yeah.
Poor dead old.
On to music news, and Vangelis has retired from life, aged 79. Yeah, Vangelis was a composer for many films and TV shows, but he's most famous for Chariots of Fire and Blade Runner.
Yeah,
and,
so very, very sad about his passing.
I was going to say, it's very. I thought that would probably affect you. He's very into his synthesizer music, isn't he?
Massive soundscapes.
Yeah,
massive soundscapes. Big pioneer of using synthesizers in kind of compositions, like for films, because like up until kind of Blade Runner, like most synth work was in like rock music. And he was putting it into kind of orchestral compositions. Massively built up the brand of Moog. So you see him and Giorgio Moroder together, not making music together, but at the same time, we started building up the sound of Moog and the sound of, instead of using organs, using these synthesizer machines, and it's so good. And I remember I bought, you know, those days when you just go into like back in the day when you went into Woolworths and you saw like a CD with a cover that just really spoke to you.
Yeah, BJ Duncan.
It was usually Yes albums for me, and then realising it's not that good.
Yeah, it was the best of Vangelis. And I remember it had like this like really shiny, shimmery cover. And I picked it up, had no idea who Vangelis was, and I played it, and it changed me life.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, you made a joke about Yes there, though, Oodles. Vangelis was once tipped to replace Rick Wakeman in Yes.
Yes, yeah, I know. I remember reading it.
And he turned it down because he had better things to do.
He did. I read an expose in Enemy years ago about Vangelis, and saying that one of the best quotes I've seen Enemy say is like, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but it was like, imagine taking Mozart and Beethoven's Baby, sending him to Mars and bringing him back, and then telling him to write a symphony. It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
But if you haven't listened to it recently, listen to the Blade Runner soundtrack. Just separate from the watching the film. The soundtrack, that opening piece when it's the car flying over LA, and you get those big when the chimneys go off and you get the boom sound coming. Oh, it's so good, so good. So good.
Yeah, he absolutely inspired all your favourites, current ones today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Musician's musician, isn't he?
Very much so.
Big loss.
Sad loss.
And finally, clench your buttocks, guys. This is a doozy. It's time for another Skyrim port.
You're fucking kidding me. Oodles has just walked off.
We can do it without Oodles. I know he's overwhelmed. We'll give him a minute.
Okay, so does your husband need more shoes, Candy?
Apparently so. Switch Brazil has reported that Taiwan's Digital Game Rating Committee has listed Skyrim Anniversary Edition for Switch, suggesting there's going to be an official announcement soon. And
it's pathetic.
I know. So the base version of Skyrim is already available on the Switch, but not the Anniversary Edition, which includes the base game, all DLC,
fishing,
a set of mods from the creator community, and a fishing system. Oh, and you can have aquariums in your house.
It's a waste of fucking money. Wake up. Buy it on Steam for 20 pence. Fuck, it'll run on anyone's computer. It'll run on a fucking fridge. Oh.
I mean, how is it still full price on Switch now?
Switch games are expensive, no matter what it is.
It's $49.99. Fucking pathetic.
Nintendo eShop. Yep, $49.99 on cartridge.
It makes me fucking sick. How can you do this to people? Stop it.
Yeah, disgusting. Anyway, how much are Switches now?
Oh, God. She wants one. I've got a Switch Lite. I'll send it to you. I'll send a Switch Lite to you so you can be fucking... You can... I don't know, fucking shove up your ass. Fucking stupid Skyrim bollocks. Get over it, guys.
Don't tell me how to live.
Just play it on your Xbox, Candy.
She's already bought it 900 times.
I've bought it for PlayStation and Xbox.
I remember when you bought the Anniversary Edition last year. What are you doing?
I haven't played it yet.
50 bricks and she's paid for fishing, basically.
I like fishing.
You don't like fishing, you're lying.
I didn't have an aquarium in my house before. I do now.
Oh, well, fucking la-di-da. Good for you.
Anyway, that's the news.
Have you got an aquarium in your ESO house?
It depends which one. I have many ESO houses.
That's what you should be
keep
playing.
Giving Bethesda your money.
If you want to play some Skyrim, play ESO. It's actually good.
I do.
Fuck.
Although the houses cost about fucking 60 quid in real life to buy.
Yeah, because it's free to play.
I've got about 10.
God,
you're stressing me out so much. Let's move on because Skyrim frazzles my fucking brain.
A couple of weeks ago where someone was talking, when you were talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once, and you were talking about the family getting audited and your fear that might happen to you one day. Is it because they're going to see how much money goes to Bethesda from your bank account?
They'll be like, why is this down as a business expense? Like,
the thing is, I want listeners to understand. I don't dislike Bethesda. I love Fallout. I love Oblivion. I love what was it, Morrowind. I love that. Skyrim's just overhyped. It just does me fucking head in. It does me shit in. Fucking get rid. Right, let's move on to the Nexus because I'm furious now. Gadget, help me out, man. Don't talk about Bethesda. Fuck's sake. Cracking another can.
Got a couple of things to rattle through here. So, first of all, very brief on this one. I started a show on Apple TV Plus today. I've only watched the first episode, but I'm impressed so far. Called Slow Horses.
Oh,
is it about jockeys?
I almost started that this weekend as well.
Yeah, so it's a spy thriller TV series with slight comedy edge to it. I think some bits I giggled at throughout it. Starring Gary Oldman of all people,
and
in
Kristen
Scott
of a
Thomas.
lifetime.
Actually, he's doing really well in this one. So the premise is Slow Horses is based around a British MI5 officer called River Cartwright, who's played by Jack Lowden, who he's starting off. He's doing this very public training mission in Stansted Airport to find a terrorist and it goes horrifically wrong, and he fails it significantly. And he is exiled to a place called Slough House, somewhere else in London, which is where no, not in Slough, but it's Slough House.
Imagine
it's a place where the MI5 send the shit ones, the ones that fail.
Oh dear.
they can't sack them, but they've just got to.
Yes, well, River especially can't be sacked because his grandfather used to be the head of MI5.
Perfect.
Yes. So leading this bunch of slow horses is Gary Oldman's character, Jackson Lamb, who is a horrible, slovenly, alcoholic, cigarette-smoking, socks on the table kind of guy who is
I feel attacked.
He's absolutely channeling Bricktop from Snatch. I half expect to start talking about pigs at some point. He's not full Cockney.
Do you know what
but
Nemesis
he's got that attitude. He's got that attitude to him. And he's really, really funny with it. But also, he is still a brilliant agent. But he's reveling in like torturing these people that are sent to work in the shit end of the MI5.
I do like when they allow Gary Oldman to use his proper accent because he is a Londoner.
Yeah,
this is his London accent coming out. So, like I said, I've only watched the first episode, the 6 episodes out so far. I'm really enjoying it. Like, I really, really liked it. It's slickly produced. It looks great. It sounds great. It's got little touches that that make me think that they've thought about this more than a lot of Apple TV Plus things. So, for instance, you see River in the first episode. He's kind of moving around. He's driving from place to place. Now, normally in an Apple TV show, they all drive nice cars. They all have the latest iPhone and all that. Well, because it's to obviously show that he's on the shit end of the wedge, he's got an iPhone 6 and he's driving a 2009 Seat and stuff like that. I really like that stuff. I like those little details to show that he ain't earning money,
Yeah.
It's really good. It's worth watching. I'll watch the rest of the series and I'll do a proper Nexus on it, but I'm enjoying it so far.
There's some gold coming from Apple TV. Did you watch Mosquito Coast? I fucking love that.
No, it's on the list to watch.
Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good.
I was saying this the other day, like it seems like almost everything that Apple TV are releasing, they're sort of originals, really, really, like you get, bang for your buck for what it is, like a £6 a month or something ridiculous, or free
It's
for
free.
3 months.
I bought a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, if you buy any product ever, you'll get a free Apple TV thing for 6 months.
I was going to say, I'm due an upgrade on my Apple Watch.
Yep.
Yes, I am too.
Yeah, the Slow Horses is really good, and it's proven the quality of Apple. Like, Apple's really investing in TV, and they're doing it well.
It's quality, not quantity, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
You're listening, Netflix? Are you listening?
Apple TV aren't pushing out anything like Selling Sunset or shit like that, are they?
No.
So, next thing I want to talk about, I started Guardians of the Galaxy on the Xbox.
Love it. Love it.
It's really fucking good. Like, I've heard everyone say that it's better than it has any right to be, or that it's fucking brilliant, or whatever. I still kind of went in a little bit with low expectations, just because
it's good. Yeah,
just because it's a Square Enix game, a Western Square Enix game, and they don't have a good track record of being good. And also, I remember the shit show that was Marvel's Avengers, so I thought. But, I mean, I
still like that though. Yeah. I'm one of the rare few that think Marvel's Avengers is a good game.
Well, I played about 5 hours of it last night, and it's proper good. And I wasn't clicking with it at first. I like the banter. I like the beautiful game. Graphics are incredible, and I'm playing it on performance mode, and it's still running. It still looks like it's in 4K and everything. It's beautiful. But the bit where it clicked for me is because you spend the whole of the kind of the first chapter it's a lot of tutorial stuff. So it's showing you how to command your companions and how to order Groot to rope up a load of enemies with his roots, or
you mean the Final Fantasy VII remake battle system?
Basically, yeah,
that's what it is.
But yeah, so I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the banter, but I kind of wasn't clicking with the combat. I found the combat a bit weak until the point where you've got all 4 of your buddies with you, and you're basically managing the battle, and it clicked. I was like, "Oh shit, this is really fucking good."
Yeah, I remember reading an article about it. It was like, if this was Final Fantasy 15's battle system, that would have been a good game.
Yeah,
because that's what they were. That's what they're going for. Where you control one character, and you make your compatriots come in when you need them.
Yeah.
And huddle and stuff like the huddle mechanic's fucking brilliant.
The huddle mechanic's brilliant, but I really like. It reminds me of playing like. For the comparison, it reminds me when I used to play MOBAs or when I used to play StarCraft, because you're like managing cooldowns, and it's quite good to like tactically use all of their abilities in different orders, and like, you know, wait for that little thing to ping to say Gamora's got her insta kill ready and just get straight in there on a big baddie and stuff like that. Oh, it's really fucking good. And it took us about 2 hours, but then I stopped caring that they weren't doing the MCU stuff. So like, Peter Quill is very different to the way Chris Pratt plays him, for instance.
He's definitely Peter Quill from the books. I've said this in our Discord. These are the best Guardians of the Galaxy we've seen on screen.
Yeah, I really like how they've done Drax as well. Like, he's still very literal, and he's still close to the Dave Bautista portrayal, but it's just a little bit different. And I quite like how much he dislikes Gamora at the start of the game.
The witch.
Yeah, constantly referring to her as the betrayer assassin. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
So I'm going to carry on with that.
The game doesn't lull at all. I think it's perfect. Not perfect, but it's great from beginning to end. If you like the battle system, that's what it's all based around. It's just really good narrative as well.
Yeah, the exploration sections are a bit too Uncharted for me. Like, Uncharted's a bad game, but it's just like very linear, very wait for the characters to tell you where to go kind of things.
Yeah,
I would have preferred a little bit more freedom.
The battles come in before they come, because you see the big open space. It's like, I know I'm going to fight here.
But it's the combat that's elevating it well above anything Uncharted ever did.
It's got the Mass Effect choices as well, which do make a massive difference. I've played it twice and completely different, really.
Oh, that's good to know, actually, yeah. So,
when you say it was Square Enix that it's a Square Enix game, was it Square Enix Studios that made it, or did they just produce it?
It was Eidos Montreal, so Square Enix published it.
Yeah. That's cool.
So
they give them a lot of assets, though. Trust me. It's basically a Final Fantasy game, a modern one.
But
it's good.
The main thing I want to talk about is Citizen Sleeper, which is also on Xbox Game Pass, and it's fucking phenomenal.
What is Citizen Sleeper?
So Citizen Sleeper, it is they call it a narrative RPG. I think it's closer to a visual novel, if I'm perfectly honest.
Okay.
It's presented a little bit like Disco Elysium. A lot of text to read, a lot of characters to deal with, some choices to make. But it's not as free-form in its exploration as Disco is, and there's not as much of the RPG element to it. It's sort of linear, but you can kind of do everything you want. Anyway, you start this game as a sleeper, who is a kind of mechanical person who's had the personality taken from a real person and put into them. Basically, the idea is someone goes to work for this big space corporation, and to do some very dangerous work, their consciousness is taken from their human body and put into a robot body, which can easily be killed, and then their brain can be put back into a robot body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have been untethered from the company that you work for and dumped on a space station called Erland's Eye, deep in space. It involves you having to remember sort of not necessarily who you are, but why you exist. You have to battle with the fact that there is built-in obsolescence into your suit, which makes you dependent on the company who created you. As you're separated from the company, you have to be constantly repairing yourself. Because of the way in this game's logic that taking the brain from the human body and putting it into a robot body, the brain still expects things like food and stuff like that, like in touch and that kind of thing.
Inbuilt into it, isn't it?
Yeah, you still have to eat. You have to effectively recharge your batteries. And you have to basically build a life on Erland's Eye. Dealing with the various things. Erland's Eye was a place that was a significant force in the galaxy in terms of like shipbuilding, in terms of kind of space mining and stuff, until the company that run it collapsed. And then there was a war, and a load of refugees came to the place. So it's a little bit lawless, a little bit chaotic, a little bit broken up and taken around, and a lot of people who don't like the corporations. Very anti-capitalist view throughout it.
So you don't walk around at all in this?
So no, it's more like you have a view of about.
If you're an AI, are you just in the system?
No. So as a sleeper, you are a physical being, The game is presented to you as you get to play with about a quarter of this kind of hab ring in center of the of the space station, and you view it from kind of a bird's eye view, and you've got like markers for like which locations you go to them, and to interact with it, you have dice. You have 6 dice per day, depending on the condition of your body.
You fucking love dice and all.
I do love dice, but basically you have to roll. You roll these dice against certain actions to do stuff. So it's like it might be you need to earn some credits to buy the medicine that keeps you alive. So you need to go work at the shipyards, do a couple of shifts and stuff like that. And you kind of build up a narrative. But the narrative is so well written, and you are helping people discover secrets about themselves or secrets about the station, or you are helping people. You're getting people to help you, and they kind of help heal you up. There's a stray cat that you can feed at one of your residences as you work through it. So I've made sure to feed the fucking cat every damn day.
Yes,
okay, that's one.
There's even stuff in it and stuff that I just really, really like, that there is gender non-binary people in it who have the correct they them pronouns in the dialogue throughout. Good. There are some real kind of hand on your mouth moments. It's the 6th game to ever make me cry, because I got a really happy ending and I cried happy at the end. Wow. It's really fucking good. It's got a gorgeous kind of chill synthwave soundtrack that is absolutely beautiful. I really, really would rate it. Like, again, a lot of people compare it to Disco, possibly just due to the kind of the way that it presents itself. You've got kind of text on the left-hand side of the screen. You've got like kind of a drawn image of whoever you're speaking to, that kind of thing.
Big menus and stuff like that.
Yeah. I would say this is the opposite of Disco, though, because where Disco was a very nihilist story with you trying to remember who you are, this one's a lot more hopeful, because this is a story about you becoming who you're supposed to be.
I've just looked on my phone at the art style. It's fucking sublime.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous art.
Oh my word!
It's beautiful.
Where's this been?
It's on the Switch. Pick it up, play it. It's a great bedtime game.
It is on the Switch. I have literally just purchased it.
You will enjoy it.
It's
Let me know how you get on with it. But
this looks insane.
It's so good that when I got the ending I wanted, I went back and I also got another 4 endings after that.
Yes, I'm going to devour that this week.
Absolutely.
Because I've played Disco Elysium 3 times now, and I need something.
Oh, absolutely. Pick this up. It's not a long game. It took me about 8 hours to get the first ending.
I just got the email. I've paid for it.
Excellent. It's absolutely superb little game. The only gripe is it's a little bit fiddly to control on a gamepad. It definitely needs a mouse, but it's fine. You can live with it.
Yeah,
so,
man.
yeah. Make sure everyone has to pick up Citizen Sleeper. If you've got an Xbox or you've got Game Pass on the PC, just fucking play it. It's worth it. Trust me.
That's on my list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. It's cheap and all. Ooh, I got it for 17 quid with my coins. Nice. Nice. Excellent. Thank you very much for that gadget, and I think you probably work for the development team of that game, because you've just earned them another 2 players.
I will quite happily. It's made by Fellow Traveller Games, if anyone's interested.
Excellent. Right, I'll do the next bit. Let Candy have a rest from that incredible news segment she did. I've been playing games, and I've also been watching a show that I am irrevocably in love with. But I'll talk about the game first. Strangers of Paradise: Final Fantasy Origins. You knew it were coming.
I knew it were coming.
You knew it were coming because I reviewed it. Stranger of Paradise: Final Fantasy Origins is an action role-playing game in the Final Fantasy series developed by Koei Tecmo's Team Ninja. So, already my ears, ooh, Team Ninja, ooh, I'm in. And published, obviously, by Square Enix. And the game is the celebration of their 35th anniversary. Now, I thought I was the same age as Final Fantasy, but it turns out it's a year older than me. And now, listeners, you know how old I am. So, as an alternative universe prequel of Square Enix original Final Fantasy on the NES. So, this game, without going into spoilers, because it's very rich in story. Believe it or not, from the trailers that we were revealed at E3 that time. Remember those trailers?
Look
at kill chaos. I'm here to kill chaos. Where's chaos? I'm here to kill chaos. I did the voiceover for the main character, by the way. I'm here to kill chaos. 'Cause that's exactly how he sounds. So the game is super duper, triple looper meta. And they missold this game to everyone. It's a prequel to the entire mythos and themes of the series, not just the first one. So without spoiling too much, there is a reason why I'm here to kill chaos was unleashed on the world, and the devs deliberately wanted it to meme, and it worked. So there's a little subplot to it how memes can extend far beyond its original not means, and basically they wanted people. I know it sounds super meta, and maybe they wanted this after it became a meme, but it's in the game. They wanted people to be like obsessed with the fact that it kept saying, "I'm here to kill chaos. What's chaos? This is chaos. Are you chaos?" They wanted that to happen, and it did happen, and it works for the narrative that the game's bringing. So basically, if you like Dark Souls combat, which I know some of us here do, and you also like seeing creatures like mind flayers roaming around, and you also like dressing up your little boy band of twinks and sexy men, this is the game for you.
You had my attention, now you have my curiosity. No, it's the other way around. So you have my curiosity, now you have my attention.
Yeah, man, this game was so missold. And I know they did it deliberately, but that's not good in a financial term, trust me, because it didn't sell massively.
It doesn't equal sales.
No,
I didn't even know it was out.
Yeah, it's been out a while, and it's massively reduced in price now. The PS5 version is like 25 quid boxed, which it was 70 quid when it came out. Do you know what I mean?
When was it that it came out?
This year.
Did you play the demo that came out about?
Yeah, he's fucking shite, that demo. The demo is shite.
So is it different from the demo then? Because I played that and I fucking hated it.
No, it's not different from the demo. The demo is literally the first half an hour of the game, and then it completely changes after that bit, deliberately to like subvert your expectations. It's almost the tanker Big Shell chapter of Metal Gear Solid 2. Do you know why we just didn't know?
Right.
It's that kind of fucking like just a play on what you expect. Like, yes, it's Final Fantasy, and it's got all the Final Fantasy tropes. There's cactuars in it, there's chocobos in it, there's all that. But like, there's some clever bits that I've not seen since like DMC, the Team Ninja. Is it Team Ninja that did that?
Yeah.
Ninja Theory.
Ninja
Team
Theory.
Ninja. One of those two.
Yeah. Ninja Theory. I think it was Ninja Theory.
I've not seen a main character do this since then, where the boss or the boss at the end of the level is doing his monologue, and the main character is going, "Shut the fuck up!" And he just wants to fucking smash. He's like, "I'm not interested in this." He is like a pure capital G gamer, deliberately, and he wants to just fucking smash and drink his fucking G Fuel and get on with it. But it's deliberately woven into the narrative of the game. Like, your compatriots, you're supposed to try and get a bond with them, but because the character that you play as is so cold and has got a shell above his personality, you can't bond with him. And there's moments that make you think, like, I should be feeling something towards this, but I'm not. And it all just coalesces into this beautiful, like, cacophony at the end. Not even the end, halfway through it, that you think, right, now I understand it. They've completely buried the lead through the whole thing. The combat's fantastic. It's basically Devil May Cry meets Dark Souls. It's fucking rapid. You can change jobs on the fly. So you can have two jobs, like you can have mage, you can have warrior. You can just flip it and it changes your combo meters and stuff like that. It's not a difficult game. It's got Dark Souls, that control scheme and combat, but it's not difficult in any way, shape or form. It's got options for difficulty as well to make it even easier. The fashion's incredible. I put some snippets on, some screenshots on our Discord. The fashion's fucking fantastic in it. But yeah, there's just something about it. Like, it doesn't do what a lot of these RPGs and what these kind of games do, where it just overloads you with law. What it does instead is, do you want to listen to this or not? Do you want to get back into it? And most of the time, I'm like, yeah, I just want to get back into it. And while you're getting back into it, they're telling you the law. They're talking to each other.
Oh,
it's
cool.
fucking super clever. Or you can just have a rest and listen to people chat to you. I think it's fucking super duper clever. And if you did play the original Final Fantasy, which a lot of people haven't, it does link into that, but it also links into the fact that every other Final Fantasy is some creator's vision. And that's what every level does in this, because it's level structured. Each level is a homage to all the 15 Final Fantasies we've got. And it's got all the music in it, all the Uematsu music in it. It's got all the art style. It's got every job that's ever existed in a Final Fantasy. Except Mimic, I noticed that, but other than that, I think it's fantastic. The only reason I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 is because of the opening hour. It's such a lie, and I don't know why they did it. I get that gaming developers want to take risks and subvert expectations, but this is to their detriment because people aren't going to touch this because that demo was fucking bobbins.
I'm a perfect example of that. I wouldn't, until I heard you speaking now, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. I just had absolutely no interest. I played it, like I said, actively hated it. Didn't just dislike it, really just hated everything about it. I thought it was ugly. I thought the gameplay was, like you said,
the graphics aren't perfect.
Well, at that time it seemed like PS3 graphics, but it was quite an ugly level, I thought.
It's literally the first level.
Maybe I'll go back to it then, especially if it's cheap.
I genuinely think if you put 3-4 hours into it, you'll understand it, and you just need to get to grips with the fact that the main character, you're not creating a character, you are him, and he is not interested in what people want to say to him. He does not give a fuck. He's here to kill chaos, and that's another deliberate thing. I'm not just like sticking up for it. There's a reason why he's so obsessed with that. It's as if he's... I can't even go any further with it. It all makes narrative sense, and by the end, I was fucking bawling my eyes out. I was like, this is fucking incredible. This is like, it just comes full circle to everything I've loved about this series. It's even got Dragon Quest fucking things in it. I love that shit. I love that shit. You know I do. It's just, I think it's a great celebration of 35 years, and people are just not going to touch it. Because like these critics, I've read, it's got like a 70 odd on Metacritic. But these critics have said, "Oh, I couldn't get past the first level." I'm like, what? You couldn't get past it?
Well, then they shouldn't be reviewing it then.
Exactly. And I know reviewers don't necessarily have to finish a game to review it. That's not in any stipulations whatsoever. That's not on the review. But still, if you look at the positive reviews, there's a lot of people saying this is a critique on what people wanted from. Like, there's a massive ploy on remember how, like, the reason Uematsu, not Uematsu, the creator, Hironobu Sakaguchi, he left Final Fantasy and Square Enix because people were just begging him to do Final Fantasy VII Remake. And he was like, fuck you. There's a lot of play on that as well. Stop expecting us to do what you want to do and let us as artists do what we want to do. And I think it's got a good message on that.
So Stranger of Paradise is the 4th worst selling Final Fantasy spin-off.
I know.
In its first week, it sold 46,000 physical copies on PlayStation 4 and 5 combined in Japan.
Yeah. I know. It's because they missold it. And the fact that they gave it a stupid title. It makes sense, but at the end, it's just...
They went a bit Kingdom Hearts with it, didn't they?
Yeah, they've done the worst thing about it, and I loved every second of it. Maybe it is hyperbole, maybe it isn't, but there was just something about it that just really spoke to me. And the people that I've discussed that really liked it as well, they're not massive Final Fantasy fans, but they get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went, I understand what it was telling me. It is subverting expectations, and I know I've said that about 400 times, but I think you should try it. If it comes to Game Pass, it's a no-brainer, guys. It's an absolute no-brainer. I've got a whiff that it might be coming to Game Pass. Please, give it 3 hours, and if you don't like it, I'll refund you the money.
So I get a refund and a Switch this episode. Brilliant.
You're doing really well. The other thing I want to talk about is a show that, even though I love that game, I love this show even more.
Ooh.
It's a show called Outer Range, starring Josh Brolin and Imogen Poots, created by Brian Watkins and produced by Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. You know that guy with his six-pack? Him. So, listen to this. Prick your ears up, listeners. Imagine a show that's a cross between No Country for Old Men, Lost, and H.P. Lovecraft.
Fucking hell.
Mull that over in your brain for a little second. So, unfortunately, it's an Amazon Prime exclusive, so some people won't be able to navigate to get to this show. Biggie. Yeah. So, but it's one of their exclusives, and I think it's up there with The Boys.
Really?
So I think The Boys is the best thing they've produced, bar none. And this is it's tickling it. It's tickling it for top spot. So I'll give you the synopsis. So Royal Abbott, that's Josh Brolin, is a Wyoming rancher fighting for his land and family who discovers a mysterious black cosmic void in the pasture. So it's a big hole in the land, but it's cosmic and voidy.
Voidy.
But it's all voidy. And following the arrival of Autumn, a drifter with a connection to Abbott's ranch, while the Abbott family copes with the disappearance of their daughter-in-law, Rebecca, they are pushed further into the brink when a rival family, the Tillersons, try to take over their land. So, it's one of those things, the first episode will just grab you in. Remember when Lost, the first episode of Lost, just sucked you in? Big style. It's that, but imagine Lost didn't end shit. It's that. So it's got themes of like Greek tragedy, existentialism, nihilism, and cosmic dread, and we all love a bit of cosmic dread. It's topped off with the sulking gravitas of Josh Brolin. He is phenomenal. I think he's better in this than he is as Thanos. Genuinely.
Strong words.
Because I want people to go and watch it and prove me wrong. The unraveling of a mystery bigger than the apparent drama at surface level. I think this show is one of the best shows I've watched in about 5 years. So, did you ever watch The Leftovers?
No.
Which is another one of my all-time favourite shows. It's got that kind of feeling. It's just super fucking tight. It's super good. It's got moments of beautiful scenery across Wyoming pastures and stuff like that. Because obviously Wyoming, as we all know, is just at the brink of the Rocky Mountains. So there's beautiful backdrops of the Rockies. It's weird because Wyoming's that state that's in the north, but it's cowboy country still. So they're all southern northerners. It's, I don't know, there's something
Leeds.
about it. It's like Leeds, basically, yeah. Yeah, the Pennines are our Rockies. But
they are rather rocky.
They are rather rocky. But the first episode just hooked me in massively. Like Josh Brolin, I think it's one of his career-defining performances. He is born to play Royal Abbott. And
is he playing sour cowboy kind of?
It's even better, mate. Sour cowboy granddad. Was still looking like an absolute daddy.
I'm in.
He still
there's got to be towels needed across the country, isn't there?
He looks like a daddy in this. Grey, nice and grey on the old beard. Daddy bod still. Oh, he looks fantastic. And he's got some daddy sons as well. His sons are adults, by the way, guys. They're adults. So I can say that. Everyone in this, there's not a wasted character in it. The Tillersons, the rival family, they're incredible as well. There's just something about it. Twin Peaks, H.P. Lovecraft, X-Files even to it.
Okay, I'm
It's just, it's fucking phenomenal. Yeah, look at that. Amazon's Outer Range brings the weird fiction mindset to westerns. It's what they call a neo-western. So you've heard of that before, haven't you? Where it's modern day westerns. Yeah. But neo-western plus Lovecraft. It's fucking perfect. I think it's a knockout 10 out of 10 show. One season. I think there's 9 episodes, something like that. There is you could say there's a cliffhanger to it. They have greenlit season 2, so I'm already pumped for that. I genuinely think it's flawless. And if you've got any bad word to say about it, come at me. I think it's fantastic. Outer Range. Please watch it. You've all got Amazon Prime because you all can't wait for deliveries. I know this. Please watch Outer Range. Make it your own work, listeners. I want everyone to come at me and say, I fucking hated it. Because you won't. I want everyone to come around and go, wow, I'd have overlooked that. Because there's been no marketing for it whatsoever. None at all. It's fucking fantastic. Whew. Follow that, Candy.
I can't. I've just watched one little show. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but here we are. I've also been on the Apple TV hype. And it's not new, but I've been watching Long Way Up. And this is the kind of...
love Long Way Up.
It's the same kind of... It's within Long Way Round and Long Way Down. So if you don't know what that is, it's Ewan McGregor and his bestie, Charlie Boorman. It's a travel show on motorcycles, basically. And Long Way Up came about after you, as I said, they just sort of drifted apart. Ewan got word that Charlie had a really sort of nasty motorcycling accident, severely injured his legs. They basically smashed to shit. So when, Ewan was away, came back and they decided to do another season of their travel show, Long Way Round or whatever you want to call it. So it spurred them into getting back in contact again. And this time, so it's called Long Way Up. This is 3 months to travel from Ushuaia in Argentina, which is the bottom tip, back up to Los Angeles. And the difference with this show from the other two was they're actually traveling on prototype electric Harley Davidson motorbikes, and
they look like bikes from Death Stranding, don't they?
Yeah, that's exactly what they are. So they had the prototype, which was kind of a like a cruiser, and they've modified it to make it more of an adventure bike. So they were sitting up a bit more comfortably in it. You can add the bag, so it really was like a bike from Death Stranding. So yeah, they had the added challenge of the bikes having a range of about, I think it was 150 miles on a good day, and needing to find charging points in remote areas of countries that aren't as developed as the USA. So, whereas the USA, even it was filmed in 2019, so even then, America had quite a few charging points at that point. The production team themselves followed Ewan and Charlie in prototype electric 4x4s called Rivian trucks.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Rivian.
Yeah, and so these were built specifically for the show and that particular journey. In addition, Rivian actually built a network of charging points going up the west of Southern America for them to use along the way, along the plotted route. And they remain in place now. As I said, it's worth noting that this was filmed in 2019, so electric vehicles and charging points have massively increased since filming. But it was it's such a test of endurance and the ability of the bikes too. So many of the roads actually aren't roads, it's just gravel, it's just mud. And they were traveling through the absolute worst of conditions. So when they started at the most southerly point of Argentina, it was the end of winter, so just a straight up blizzard came in. So off the bat, they were 3 days late on filming. And the cold weather affected the bike's battery so badly, like they had a charge of about 50 miles. So it was a case of they couldn't even get to the first charging point. So they're having to stop along the way to use people's generosity. Basically, they would have to stop into cafes and try and plug them in through windows, or they found a little hotel that was actually closed for the season. Luckily, the owners opened it up to them to try and charge these bikes. They still wouldn't take a charge because they were outside. It was so cold. It was basically freezing up the battery. They had to take them inside this little tiny hotel. They put down these rugs on the floor, tried to charge it on the inside, but the electric charge was just not strong enough in the house. It just kept shorting out the whole time. Another issue is because these are prototypes, they couldn't even take them, and they're electric, they couldn't even take them to a local mechanic or anything. So if they broke down, they were fucked. They'd have to phone Harley Davidson to try and get some parts flown out to the nearest country they were in. And actually, Ewan McGregor missed out on a couple of countries because the software in his bike broke down, so they had to fully replace the battery. So
I remember that.
Yeah, so while Charlie Borden went through, I think it was maybe Colombia and Panama that Charlie went through, and Ewan had to kind of skip ahead. In this weird, because he's an American citizen and he's a Scottish citizen as well, so he kind of ran into a bit of trouble when he entered one country on his American passport, and he couldn't leave because to leave you have to leave with the same passport.
He couldn't get the Esters and the visas, could he?
Yeah, so as an American, you had to have a visa to enter the next country, but on a Scottish passport, he would have been fine, but he didn't enter the country on that passport. So it's all just like a complete sort of battle of logistics and various tantrums that I think were probably cut from the main show, but you kind of get the impression
I remember
that
moment because I watched it when it came out. I remember that moment where they couldn't pass that corridor, that drug smuggling corridor.
That's right, so yeah.
They had to get round all that, didn't they?
Yeah, they got the sniffer dogs out and everything.
There's no highway there either in some parts of it because it's such cartel-owned country.
Yeah, just nothing really. It was, in fact, I think they mentioned they'd sort of advised them not to go through this part. I think it's part of Colombia. They were like, just don't do it. But
it was that thing about as soon as they see white men, you're fucked.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
fucking crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, it was really fun to watch, and just what a sort of battle of wills against the elements it was. But you can tell that they're just having the absolute time of their lives as well. And it had been, I think there's obviously been a bit of a break between series because they had lost touch. But
Yeah, like 10 years between each one.
I think so. And there was one really cute moment where Charlie's riding in front of Ewan McGregor, and you was like, the amount of times I've seen this view, I've seen the back of him riding his bike in so many different parts of each country, parts of the countryside. You said this memory is just going to be kind of burnt into my brain forever. Just this, that's how I'll always remember him. Just seeing him riding off into the distance of various sunsets and everything. But yeah, no, it's really cute. It's just really easy watching. It's a travel show. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I only started watching it last night, and I think I've smashed through about sort of 8 episodes out of 9, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just can't stop watching it. I do love a travel show though. My fave.
Yeah.
But that's been it for me really this week. I had
That's
a bit
enough.
Of a bit of a boring
That's
one.
enough. That's enough. We've done really well. We've had a good nexus between the three of us.
I think
So
we
be
have.
proud of what we've achieved, guys. That's the main thing.
I'm always
That's the
proud.
main thing. We can do this. We can do this. But now on to the main topic at hand. Gadget,
Yes.
take it away.
Okay, well, new event for the summer, everybody. You know, because as it is this time of year where the big gaming companies like to reveal what they've got. Show us what's in the bottom drawer, what they've been working on, all those fancy things they've got going. And, you know, everyone has traditionally flocked to E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, but no, there's a new contender on the block. See, we've created our own expo. ME4, the Modern Escapism Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Love it.
Yeah. Where it's going to be a week of debauchery. Absolute chaos. You know, we'll take over a convention centre, probably Birmingham. I mean, the whole city of Birmingham, not just the convention centre, but we'll just take it all over. There'll be drink, there'll be drugs, there'll be food, there'll be more drink, there'll be strippers, there'll be whatever you want. This is so many vol-au-vents. A stack of them, a pile of vol-au-vents. But capping off the week of drunken debauchery with games developers is going to be a 3-way conference where we get up on the big stage and we get to reveal everything to the audience, everything that we've worked for this year. We've got all the best exclusives. And in this very special episode of Modern Escapism, we're going to give you a preview of what you'll see at ME4.
Listener, we're doing a concept episode.
Yay! So yes, all three of us have come up with our ideal gaming conference. We've gotten the concept down. We've booked the guests. We've booked the games. We've got some real shocks and surprises all the way through. And we're going to start with Oodles' conference because he's been bigging this up for 2 days now, and I'm desperate to hear what he's got up his sleeve.
You should have put me last because you've got to follow this shit.
No. So you know, we're going the Friday to the Sunday night. So this is what you'll get on the Friday night when you attend.
I've ruined the rest of the conference then. So the event name is called the Anti-Gamer Gaming Con, the AGGC. A convention for computer game enthusiasts that hate influencers and false promises. Lots of that. Stage setup. The stage will look like a beautiful pub, and the guests in the auditorium will be sat on bar tables and stools and be able to go to one of the many bars to order drinks and pub snacks. Yeah? You're getting comfortable.
I'm with you.
Yeah. They're going to be like maybe a persistent rustle from the audience with their pork scratchings.
Yeah, I've got the fairy
plenty of
one.
pork scratchings. Yeah. Dry roasted peanuts. You get me. Prawn cocktail, Seabrook, all the classics.
Yeah.
So, as a host, I'll come out not in a suit, but in my skinny jeans and a nice non-gaming t-shirt. The dress code will be pub attire. And if gaming shirts are worn, they have to be subtle references. For example, like just a bonfire or a black t-shirt from Dark Souls, you know what I mean? Something subtle. Not, I have so many lives, I'm a gamer. They're banned. They're banned.
Just a little cuff.
I don't die, I respawn. Banned. You're not allowed in. You're not allowed in. Or if you get the door
Fair
saying,
enough.
I'm an influencer, you're not allowed in. No influencers. Just independent websites and people and podcasters and stuff like that. So, lights go off. Big surprise guest. I come out, obviously, I'm hosting it. I'm letting everyone know, welcome to the Anti-Gamer Gaming Convention. And first, let me introduce my special guest, Henry Cavill and Daniel Craig. Crowd going wild, 'cause they're both known game fanatics. So both of them being fans of World of Warcraft, The Witcher, and Daniel Craig surprisingly being a massive fan and plays it regularly every week of Grand Theft Auto. So he also stated in a Variety interview that he adores Halo and its single-player content. So again, gotta love that. Gotta love that.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Into it. So the big exclusive announcement. This is it. It's one of the big ones. So we've rifled off a few best podcasts, best non-influencers. Do you know what I mean? Just people. We've gone through all that. People are so happy. People are getting drunk. People are like, yeah, fucking yeah. Having a great time. Big announcement. Dry ice. Out walks Nicolas Cage. Boom, boom. He's here. Comes out and announces that we're all sick to death of modern games and microtransactions. So he announces that we're going back to the good old days with a modern twist. Blockbuster Game Rental is announced. A service that lets you rent digital games as and when for how long you want, but this will incur a late fee. All games will be downloadable and available on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo consoles. No limitations to titles and no waiting lists. This is what we've all been wanting. Blockbusters is back, baby. Blockbusters is back. There's also movies and TV streaming available from Blockbusters. This is what everyone's fucking screaming, howling. Yes, finally, we're back. Because I fucking used to love going in Blockbusters. I used to love it.
Oh,
even if I wasn't buying it, I just fucking walk around Blockbusters, man.
There was a smell to a Blockbusters that was gorgeous.
Yeah. A shit thin carpet, chewing gum.
Really bright lights.
So good. They didn't know how to price the games that they were flogging, so you usually got really cheap games that they didn't have a clue about, because a lot of them were franchised and the manager didn't have a fucking clue about games. It was
I had to make sure to check your PlayStation disc before you left, so it wasn't in case it was scratched to fuck.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful time. And that's what Nicolas Cage comes and announces, Blockbuster Game Rental. And it's a massive hit. It destroys Game Pass. It destroys PlayStation Now Plus 3.0 or whatever the fuck that's doing. It destroys Nintendo Online. It destroys Steam. It's what everyone's wanted. And you're telling me you don't want that. You want it. You want Blockbuster Game Rental. You want it in big style. And the nice thing is, it's all the original 90s Blockbuster style stuff when you're on the UI. You know what I mean? You've got your big Blockbuster sign, a big font. Oh, it's just fucking ridiculous.
Blue and yellow.
To the point where the blurbs, there isn't enough space for the blurbs to finish, so it's just ... Oh, God, it's so fucking beautiful. And then, another big announcement. Ooh, you felt, fucking hell, is that not enough? That's enough? No, it's not.
It's not, clearly.
I turn back up. The announcement, special announcement, guys, and exclusive. The Gamecube Mini is getting released. It's a beautiful, tiny little mini console. You can't put discs in it, but we've got to make compromises. You open it up, and guess what's inside?
M&M's.
Biscuits. Food. You can put food in it. It's nothing. It's just a little Raspberry Pi. But it's just a good time. You get you've got every first party Nintendo game on there that ever released. Not many, actually. There's not that many. All the Star Wars games, all the Luigi's Mansion, all that gubbins. It's just a fantastic little console. Then another announcement. Boom, boom. Sega walks up. John Sega, or whoever runs Sega now, I don't know. Sega are back with the Dreamcast 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dreamcast 2.
Already.
It's back. It's back, baby. It's an ugly machine again. You've got the VMUs again. But this time the VMUs are the beautiful little screens that turn into smart devices. It's so good. It's got Spotify integration. You can play Crazy Taxi 3 or 4, whatever it is by this point, with all your Spotify playlists. It's just good Sega times. Power Stone's back, baby. We've got those good Dreamcast games. Soul Reaver 4, everything's back. Everything that started on the Dreamcast is back.
You're going to get a good Shenmue game out of it.
Shenmue's come back, and it's from the original team. It's good shit.
Nice.
It's good shit. And that's not it. It's not it. Because then the lights go dark again. Out walks Samuel L. Jackson. What? What's Samuel L. Jackson doing here? What? And he comes and announces a new game. A new game. He announces the title, Mace Windu. It's a single-player action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog in collaboration with Sony Santa Monica. It's exclusive to PlayStation. I'm sorry, Xbox people, but it is. It's a Mace Windu game about Mace Windu, the most badass Jedi that's ever existed. Purple lightsaber. And it's a narrative-focused single-player action game. And it's going to be incredible. Samuel L. Jackson's buzzing. He's got his Kangol hat on. He's having a great time.
Casually saying motherfucker every second word.
Yeah, there's lots of swearing. You did a stipulation, so to outdo the other conferences. I mean, I've already beat you. Because obviously it's an open bar, and the waiting staff are Hooters men and women.
Right.
So everyone's fucking happy. And you've asked for a big gimmick. So all games are anti-VR, anti-blockchain, and anti-movement control shite. So just solid games with a solid emphasis on back to basics, single-player content. Just what we like, us losers like.
I'm disappointed we don't have VR.
No, fuck VR, it's garbage. Load of shite for fucking people who got too much money. And then, that's it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for turning up. Oh, and one last thing. Oh, fuck, it's done a one last thing! What? The lights go even darker. Darker than dark. We're in the void from outer range. Then the light, Hidetaki Miyazaki, comes out on stage and steps up to the mic and says in English, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased to announce the next game in the From Software pantheon. A game that has been secretly in the making since Bloodborne. Before we reveal the game, let me introduce the team that has worked on it. Out walks Nobuo Uematsu, Suda51, Hironobu Sakaguchi, and Hideo Kojima." Japanese coalition. They all come out, the crowd goes mental, and then they all look at each other and say, "Oh, we forgot someone." Guess who walks out? Shigeru Miyamoto. Oh my god! What? As creative lead. All in tandem scream out, "This is Eversouls, the most expansive and perfectly crafted Japanese adventure game ever to be created using the supergroup of Japanese rockstar creators. The video plays and it looks incredible, and people are too stunned to react. Some men are crying, and the conference ends. People walk out shaking, and the internet explodes. End of conference." Boom.
Fucking hell. Well done, Oodles.
That's pretty good. You needed a mic to drop there.
I did.
Fantastic.
There's no Imagine Dragons anywhere.
Oh.
Good. That's a thing we should aspire to in life.
None.
None of the imagination dragons at all.
None at all.
So, Candy, how's your Saturday night shaping up?
Well,
Follow that.
I'm not sure I can, knowing that I ran out of steam halfway through writing this.
The internet is broken, remember? It's broken.
Okay, internet's broken. I'm going to take you on a journey. Not only do you have the Saturday night shows, but also you've got a show floor. So my convention is called Candyland. Nothing like a good bit of self-gratification there. It's being held in Las Vegas. Everyone loves Vegas. Party City. And I would assume they have a big fuck-off convention center. And
I hope
this
you're
is...
changing the people's mindset of the original Candyland and changing what that meant.
No, not necessarily. So this is going to be a gaming show / pop-up circus or theme park, and so all the exhibitors will be required to have at least one form of a attraction on their floor as well as their demos. So it's kind of going to be based on the E3 model of, you'll have a presentation. So what E3 do, they'll hold their conferences several days before the lead up to opening the show floors, and they're usually held in venues away from the convention center. And I'm doing it slightly differently. So every exhibitor's main stage will be within their show floor, and it'll be used to do their conference before the show floor opens. But also there'll be acts and attractions throughout the convention itself. And I'm going to start with my favorite, Bethesda. So it's a big year for Bethesda. They're showcasing Elder Scrolls 6 and a new Fallout game. Now, Fallout will be another spin-off. It's not going to be Fallout 5 after the roaring success of it. This is, by the way, based in a few years' time.
What's it called? Fallout Cash Out?
Just shut up.
That's you, Tall Noodles.
Candy out. After the roaring success of the TV show, Bethesda once again called on Obsidian to create a Fallout game based on the TV show. It'll be called Fallout Generations. As the show will have spanned the lead up to the war, the initial impact, and the following 250 years up to the events of Fallout 4. All this, of course, has been presented by a ghoul who's witnessed everything firsthand with his own
real
eyes.
Ghoul?
Real ghoul. No, the show's presented by a ghoul. Although, a ghoul. Fuck it, a ghoul. The game will feature the voice talents and likenesses of the actors within the TV show. Hooray! So that's me cheering. Elder Scrolls 6 will once again follow the adventures of the Dragonborn, who's harnessed the power of time traversal as the dragons once could. They'll explore Tamriel in both the present, directly after the events of Skyrim, and throughout several key moments in the last 800 years of history. 800 years ago being when Elder Scrolls Online takes place. The intention being to undo the destruction of dragons. Of course, I'm getting bored of my own fucking thing. Destruction.
Yeah.
Anyway, might even move out of Tamriel. Anyway, main point is, they've thrown the creation engine in the bin. Thunderous applause. Hooray! And it's going to be used using the Unreal Engine. And the
Frostbite.
The one more thing moment will then really be releasing Skyrim on PS6, 7, 8,
Fuck's
and 9.
sake.
Now this is the best bit, right? On the way out, you can pay your respects at the shrine of Todd Howard and throw $1 into his fountain of youth. And now when the Bethesda show floor is opened, you can exchange any currency to bottle caps, and at an exchange rate of one bottle cap $1. So one bottle cap will buy you 10 penny chews at one of the stands, or you can buy a Nuka-Cola for 15 bottle caps, and you'll be pleased about it. There's also going to be a kissing booth featuring Todd Howard.
Now I'm in.
Yep.
Oh, no, I'm not in.
You can have a Deathclaw then. That's the choices.
Okay,
Todd
I'd
Howard
rather
or
kiss a
Deathclaw.
Deathclaw.
Bite your face off. Anyway,
Wow.
next up we have Kojima Productions.
You were busy last night. You were too busy last night. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, he's exhausted. Next up, we have Kojima Productions. It's been a couple of years since Norman Reedus slipped up and inadvertently announced the sequel, and not long since Kojima finally caught up with him and killed him for dishonouring their code of secrecy. This will be... This is, of course, Death Stranding 2. The game will be a prequel / sequel and feature Mads Mikkelsen as Cliffhanger, seeing the life through the eyes of his time in the military and since his stranding and onwards. Their show floor would have a 15-minute demo of the soon-to-be released Death Stranding 2, Strand Harder. And to leave the demo, attendees have to sign. They sign an NDA. They get on a zip wire, like on Death Stranding.
Yep.
The zip wire would take you across the show floor into a dark tunnel, and then it will dump you out into another room, and you see a door in front of you. You open the door, and you're in a real-life escape room of Silent Hill's PT.
Ooh.
So, well, once you've navigated through the real-life PT, if you haven't died of fright, you're taken into a secret show floor. You're now in the Ninja Theory show floor, and Ninja Theory have been called upon to create a spin-off of Silent Hill, based in... this is where I start to lose steam, by the way. Based in Cambridge, UK, which is where they are. It'll be called Silent River. It's the best. It's the best I had. It's the only thing I could think of that they've got in Cambridge.
Who said Hillock?
And It will play on the psychological horror that they learned while creating Hellblade. It'll feature a soundtrack by Heiling again, and every night at the show, Heiling will do a show in the evening. You're only allowed to go if you show them a copy of your NDA. Nintendo will announce a sequel to all their existing IPs, and everyone's happy to sit, they're just sitting back. They don't care. They watch you getting excited about it anyway. No, actually, no, Nintendo can do a remake of Ocarina of Time. That's fine.
We don't need that.
Yeah, we do need. It's not a reboot, just a straight remake. It just looks prettier. But anyway, once the show floor is live, we'll have live action Mario Kart. It's a 2-player. You'll control your kart, going around a version of Bowser's Castle, and your partner will fire off your skills and stuff.
I'm sure the queues won't be long for that.
Well, it's a very select few people that get to go. So
if you survive the zip line.
I mean, you can't die from the zip line. You might die in PT. So yeah, there's slight danger of death there. Rockstar Games announced a game called The Government Totally Sucks You Motherfucker, theme tune by Tenacious D, in which you play a disillusioned stripper called Guy, male or female, intent on bringing down the government on foot using melee weapons because you can't find petrol for your stolen car. And their show floor would just be one of those like smash therapy rooms where you can just go in and just beat everything up. You've got a baseball bat, smash everything. Midway Games have announced a free-to-play, family-friendly, multi-platform version of Mortal Kombat called Mortal Wombat. You can collect cute skins for a premium price and play on your mobile. This will use the voice acting talent of the cast of The Hangover. Why did I even put that?
What the hell are you on?
I don't know. I'm worried about myself.
Stop smoking the devil's lettuce.
Anyway, there's going to be a ring set up in the middle of the show floor. You can dress up and smack the shit out of each other, basically. PlayStation have bought
I'm tired.
There's a lot of activity. You know what you're signing up for. PlayStation have bought Square Enix, and Final Fantasy games are going to be PS exclusive from now on. They'll also announce a new handheld platform. Didn't think about it too much, but it's a handheld. Oh. But the bathrooms in the PlayStation area, the toilet tanks are going to be hollowed out Xboxes.
What the fuck? Why are you stoking the fires of fucking console wars? We don't need that nowadays.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ideas.
You're stoking the fires, and it's not fair.
Anyway, that's the end of my pitch. That's the presentation for my
Yours
convention.
was the antithesis I'd
like to open the floor open to questions.
Yeah.
First question:
how much is all this going to cost? And why?
It's sponsored by Elon Musk.
I'm out.
Known gamer. No. So he's got all the money. So he's a silent donator. So you don't know it's Elon.
So are you telling me that
you'll know it's sponsored by fucking Elon Musk?
I bet these NDAs have signed you up to the metaverse somehow, haven't they?
I can't divulge that kind of information.
Yeah, I thought so. This is
next
corrupt.
question.
This is corruption. Is this on the blockchain? The whole thing?
I can't answer any further questions. Next.
Unbelievable.
Regarding the blockchain.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is disgusting.
The cost is $12 billion.
Billion?
Yeah. It's fine.
Jesus.
We've got that. It's got that kind of money to spare. Got that kind of money to spare.
Someone needs to go and protect Candace.
Is this an embezzlement scheme?
Spend nights with her. This is ridiculous. You're insane.
Yeah, I know. It's getting bad. Anyway, next question.
You're talking nonsense.
Come on, I'm ready.
Next question.
I've done my presentation.
What's that handheld called?
The PlayStation Hand.
The PlayStation Hand.
And
yes.
Okay. I'm curious now. What does it look like?
Yeah.
It looks a bit like.
You can't do this off the top of your head. You can't do this.
Well, no, it looks a bit like a mobile phone, and then it's got,
it's a phone, then, yeah?
buttons either side.
So it's an end game.
It's got a joystick on that side and a D-pad on this side with a triangle and an X.
Look, you're a podcast.
I know you're
series,
excited. I know you're
and I'm offended by all of this.
Try and contain your excitement. I know it's overwhelming.
How much are you charging for tickets?
Yeah, here we go.
$100.
Whoa!
For
how many Ethereum does
industry
it cost?
only. Industry only. There's only.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There's only
I'm sure.
100. There's only 100 tickets. It's a,
Only
it's a, hot,
100
it's a hot
tickets.
ticket. It's a
So no
lottery.
one can go
week-long
and see
conference in
You
LA.
have
So
to-
the only people that's
Vegas.
going to be there are Jake Paul. What's his name?
No.
That annoying
It's a lottery. It's a
podcaster.
lottery, like Willy Wonka. You have to find a
A
golden
lottery.
ticket.
How do you
in a-
apply for this lottery?
So you have to
Drinking G Fuel.
no Doritos. It's in a Doritos
Doritos.
packets. Like a little packet you used to get in cereal, and it's all like
So
salty
you're making
and greasy.
fat gamers become even fatter,
Yeah, it's fine.
and they won't
But
be able to go
you're
on
not
the
allowed
zip
to sell.
lines.
You're not allowed to sell it on eBay though. That's you're not allowed to sell it on.
Alex,
Next question,
you need
please.
to calm your passions because this has gone out of your comfort
No,
zone.
okay.
This is too much.
So the tickets are in a new type of diet Dorito, which
You
is
keep changing your mind and it's confusing. It's confusing the consumer.
it's actually the like edamame bean Doritos.
I am kind of into that. But still, you're confusing the consumer. This is terrible.
So
She's
not all
confusing the
it's not
podcasters.
fully ironed out yet. We've got a few
Thing is,
years
it's
to go.
£100 a ticket. Only 100 people can go. You're not paying for this convention very well.
I don't need to. Elon Musk has taken care of it.
I'm
It's
sure
a-
this
Is
is
he
money
gonna be there?
laundering. This is money laundering.
It's a passion
money
project.
laundering. Is Musk going to be there?
No, he's banned.
What?
He's banned himself. He knows he's not liked. It's been a few years down the line. He's got
Oh.
He's got the right idea. He plays to his audience, and his
Listeners,
audience.
she's single. Just to remind you all again. She needs help. She needs loving. Someone needs to go and cuddle her. She needs help.
One final question from the audience.
Go on, Noodles.
Does this show have the potential to be cancelled very close to its opening date? Because I reckon it has.
Absolutely no chance whatsoever.
So it's
When it's
cancelled.
going to
then.
open. It's cancelled. It's cancelled. It's just cancelled.
So
You're a
anyway,
bad
I
person.
think mine so far has been the best. Sorry, Oodles.
In what world is that the best? I want the listener to come back and tell me that yours was the best.
Oh, this is the ravings of a
earnest.
mad woman.
Just think of the
Yeah.
edamame bean Doritos.
Yeah, but you don't have to go to the conference to eat them.
That's got to be the episode title, Edamame bean Doritos.
Think of the PlayStation hand. Think about how much
The PlayStation hand. Fuck me, get me out of here. Where's Stig when you need him? Fuck.
he'd have stormed out. The
What
table
you
would have
done?
been flipped.
And Biggie'd have gone, what's a Dorito? You wouldn't have had a clue.
So I know if you need to take a minute, that's all right. I know it's pretty overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed
I just
myself.
feel like nuking the whole endeavour. This
There would be
podcast,
nukes
mate.
as well because Fallout.
There will be
there'd
nukes. Oh,
There'd
brilliant.
be a there'd be a there'd be like a big nuke from Megaton. You could go and sit on it and have your photo taken.
So do you need a Geiger counter to go to this event?
yeah, why not?
Oh, brilliant. So it's potentially
radioactive.
potentially get cancer from this place.
It's radioactive,
Fantastic.
and Imagine Dragons would be singing radioactive.
Oh, of course there was.
I've worked it out. I've worked out what this is now. This is a way for Candy to create the children of Atom. She's going to create
really
a
is.
radioactive cult with the people who
She
attend
is.
this gaming conference.
I ain't saying nothing.
My God, I can just imagine
seen
there's
that.
100 cybergoths queuing outside waiting to go in.
Something like this.
Yeah, dancing to Thomas the Tank Engine. Absolutely two-stepping. Fuck, I hate your
God.
event. I hate it. I love you. I
You
hate
just
the
don't
event.
understand it yet. Don't worry.
Yeah. Gadget, please pull us back.
Okay, well, so my fuck's sake, how do I follow that?
I don't know.
How do I
I
follow?
told you. If
Noodles?
you're absolutely blown away, I know you would be.
Candy, your convention is just what Xbox used to be 10 years ago.
How do I follow the amount of thought that Oodles put into his, and then the
the lack of
ravings,
thought.
the ravings of a diseased mind that we've just had here?
Take the wine off her.
Oh God, it's fucking put her in an institution. Jesus Christ, she's hysterical. Right.
All geniuses are.
Come on, Gadget, bring out your PC convention or whatever.
Well, okay, so
It's a Sunday night, by the way.
So this is the Sunday night one. This is the one where everyone's kind of had their fun.
Gone home.
They've been traumatized by Candy's show floor.
They're in hospital.
And this is where you come for the kind of the last night of it. A couple of big reveals, but it's mostly pretty chill. Mostly some nice things going on. So this one's called the Gadgets and Gizmos Show. Stage setup. Picture it. Everything 90s PC beige.
I still want to I want the listeners to understand the narcissism that these two have, that they name their conference after each other.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Carry on.
The big screen's going to be made up to look like a CRT, with that nice CRT filter over it.
Into that. Big style.
It's not just going to be PC, so it's going to mix a PC and console content. But,
but mainly PC.
No, not really. There's going to be some big PC bangers, yeah. But,
Cool.
The lights go down, the fake smoke starts to come up, and you get the kind of intro music, but it's not played by an orchestra, but it's played by live musicians. It's played by an orchestra of 8-bit musicians, giving you those 90s vibes.
Anna Managuchi.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
yes.
I'm gonna come out on stage in traditional 90s nerd clothes, as in a white shirt that doesn't quite fit properly, grey slacks, that kind of thing.
I thought you were going to say an Hawaiian shirt.
No. Maybe a slight curry stain on the collar,
Sweatpants.
Traditional 90s.
From your
nerd.
katsu that you had night before.
Yeah, of course. And I don't waste much time with it. I go straight into the games because I know that people are here for the games, for the big reveals. So, we start off with just the traditionals, couple of sequel announcements, that kind of thing. EA talk about they couldn't. No one was buying the EA FC branding, so they went with UEFA. Couldn't get FIFA, but it's now UEFA 24.
For the Champions League.
Yeah, but just only the Champions League.
That's fucking badass. It's a move though. That's a move. Like, yeah, we've got 32 teams.
32 teams, but they've spent a lot of time and money doing hyper-realistic players.
Look at Real Madrid. They look incredible.
They have a graphic where they show like a zoom into the real-time rent, and you can see the stitching on their jerseys and stuff like that. That
Some
kind
of
of
the
thing.
teams
That's
won't
the
even
detail.
qualify, so they're just like D-tier teams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's exactly what you want.
I'm into it. I remember that Champions League game that they came out with about 15 years ago. I liked it.
I think they did it like 3 years in a row or something, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm into it.
But once we get the normal kind of sequels out and like a couple of games that they're going to be vaporware, like Ubisoft try and bring Beyond Good and Evil 2 again, and it's just like this. It's never going to happen. And I'm just stood there on stage, just holding the mic up, going, "It's never going to happen."
Is it still got the pig with the nose ring and
and the swearing and the monkey
girl?
man and stuff like that? Yeah. Nothing's new. And Michel Ancel that does them? And he's just looking a bit miserable. He's in the audience because he's not part of the team anymore. He retired. So it's not looking good. And it's kind of all Ubisoft have got. Ubisoft trying to also show off Far Cry 8, but it's just become a shell of its former self.
Was it based?
Where's it based? It's based in Los Angeles, and they're trying to do the Grand Theft Auto thing. They're trying to be like, they're trying to be like satirical, but forgetting that they need to be good at writing for it.
And there's not many watchtowers in Los Angeles.
No, well, that's the main gameplay edition they've brought in. They've put watchtowers in LA.
Big wooden watchtowers. Fantastic.
Big wooden watchtowers to make it look like they want to go for full realism. They want to go for full immersion, which is why they're going to add things to LA.
Do you know what? I'd buy it. I've bought them all, and I'm an idiot. I'm there going, yes.
But they are announcing that they've got Mads Mikkelsen for the bad guy, but not Mads Mikkelsen's voice. He would only give them his face. So he's going to be voiced by Jack Black instead.
Oh, damn!
Rig-a-go-go instead.
Okay.
Okay, now.
So
Yes.
once me and the audience have finished face palming after Ubisoft have walked off, we get to the good shit. So first off,
Did they have a dance at the Ubisoft one before they leave? Did they have a dance bit at the beginning?
They tried to put up a new Just Dance, but I turned the screen off because no one needs it. They do it every year.
Those big numbers. Oh,
we don't need a playlist announcement. So first up, we had some old boys coming out. Get some older fellas. They're from Texas. They've been working in the games industry for a while, and they come up and they take the microphone and say, "Who wants a new Deus Ex game? And who wants the original Ion Storm to make it?" And then the lights come up and you see it's the original Ion Storm developer squad. Warren Spector? Warren Spector's there.
Yep.
And they show off a new Deus Ex game following JC Denton. Taking it from the beginning again, a sequel to the original game.
Jesus Christ, Denton.
Yes. None of this Invisible War stuff, none of this Human Revolution.
Yes.
Back to the original, true sequel, and it looks fucking gorgeous.
Oh, yes. This is what Cyberpunk should have been.
Funnily enough, following up that one in a horrible case of structuring a show, CDPR come out to announce that they're remaking Cyberpunk into a decent game.
Oh shit! Bad timing.
Yeah, they couldn't secure Keanu Reeves again, so they've entirely written Johnny Silverhand out, and the crowd are silent. The crowd do not trust it because they say it's going to be ready in time for Christmas that year, and no. It's not. Not a soul in the auditorium believes a word coming out of their mouth. So once they are sent off stage, a Japanese businessman comes out, declares that he is the head of Konami, and he has
the fridge door.
He has an apology to make to gamers worldwide, and as a result, he is relinquishing the rights of Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid to whoever would buy them. He then walks to the back of the stage. He pulls a katana out and he commits seppuku.
Yeah, as he should.
On stage.
And everyone cheers.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone cheers. Everyone's very happy about this one.
There's nothing more that people love at a convention than blood.
Known fact.
Yeah.
Known fact.
The lights then go down and the screen lights up and we see Bobby Kotick in his prison cell making an announcement to shareholders that he's going to wind up Activision and allow their IPs to be bought off by any bidder. Deep Silver and THQ Nordic immediately jump in and start buying up every franchise they can.
Embracer Group.
Embracer Group get Call of Duty. And they change nothing and still make a lot of money.
Warzone 2. Boom.
Yes, Blizzard become an independent company again. However, all the staff leaves.
Yeah. To form a union.
Yeah, we never get Diablo 4. But Diablo Immortal has just come out at this point, so we all have phones.
And we've all boycotted it because we all boycott Blizzard stuff.
Yep. It's time for another guest on stage again, and I welcome on Shinji Mikami, who comes on to announce Tango Gameworks are working on a new IP, totally original franchise, Evil in Residence, focusing around evil goings on in a big house.
Yes, I'm
totally brand new concept, never been done before. Any similarities to anything previously or in future is totally coincidental.
Are there dogs? Are there snakes? Are there Jill sandwiches?
There are snakes, there are sandwiches. There are no dogs in this one. It's cats this time. But cats that swarm. Cats. So it's not just like 2 Dobermans coming at you. This is like a ball of 10 cats coming at you.
Yeah, I'm in.
I would like to see the dog scene where they jump through the window, but the cats can't actually get through the window and they're just smashing themselves into the glass.
I know, yeah, but it's like the birds. It's the sustained beating of it.
Yeah.
It's a thunk, 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 and eventually they shatter through.
Evil in Residence. Yes. I'm into
it. Next up will be Kaz Hirai will come up to apologise from Sony's behalf for their idiocy and announce that he's reopening Studio Japan and Studio Liverpool, immediately commissioning Bloodborne 2 from FromSoft.
Yes,
and
Wipeout.
And a brand new Wipeout game.
Yes! I'm so in. What type of music? It's not dubstep. Please say no dubstep.
No, it's not dubstep. It's 90s bangers.
Thank God for that.
You see, they're building a brand new
Prodigy.
Yeah, they're building a brand new game, but with the best-of soundtrack of the original 3 games.
Oh God, I would kill a man for a new Wipeout. Oh.
And while he's announcing this, you can hear a loud scream from backstage as Nintendo complained they were about to announce another F-Zero game right after.
Fuck that. I'd rather have Wipeout than F-Zero. I know people want F-Zero, but I'd rather have a new Wipeout. Better game. I said it.
I mean, I'd love a new Wipeout game.
Fuck, yes.
Then I announced that our special guest for the show is about to come out.
Ooh.
And one Mr. Todd Howard trots onto stage.
Don't do anything
after the debacle of yesterday's events.
Please don't kill him off.
No, I'm not killing him off. But he does announce his total commitment to the Gadgets and Gizmos show going forward. It's the only show he's going to do at any point in the year. But he does announce Fallout 5 at this one, not the Fallout spin-off. This is a full Fallout 5, but it is to come in about 2 or 3 years' time. It's in development. Gives a little bit of a teaser trailer. This one's changing. But this one's expanding the lore. It's set in Europe, and it's set in Berlin.
Oh,
to be precise.
Now we're talking Nazi parallels. We've got loads of stuff in that.
Yeah, you got a fantastic underground system. You've got beautiful architecture. Yes. You've got ghouls with German accents.
Yeah, can this not be Fallout 9, but spelled Nein?
9. Wow.
I mean, that was a good idea.
So many great podcast titles.
They're
all from Candy.
He then goes on to announce that that Skyrim is going to be ported to the PlayStation Hand.
Yes!
Oh, for God's sake.
But it's just the original version, not the remastered one. But he does point out that later in the life cycle of the PlayStation Hand, the remastered and then the anniversary edition will be separately released.
How much will it cost? $49.99?
$75.95.
Inflation.
Of course it will, and Candy will buy
Inflation. Inflation's caused the price of games to go up at this point. This is 2 years away, you know?
Yeah.
But he comes on to he goes off to rapturous applause. He's got a nice shiny looking leather jacket. You know, he's got that tattoo that Candy forced him to have at the last show. It's still healing. It's a little bit bloody.
His bulge is just perfect there.
Big feet.
Look at
big
licking lips.
But that's not the only special guest. As he walks off stage, I announce the second and final special guest and the final announcement of the night. As Shigeru Miyamoto comes on in a video presentation to announce Game Boy Remastered. A retro console with the exact dimensions of a classic Game Boy, but with a rechargeable battery, Bluetooth audio, and a built-in backlight. And buttons that actually work. It comes packaged with a double pack of Tetris and Link's Awakening, designed to be a one-to-one replica, but just better. And then he also announces the entire Game Boy back catalogue to be released on cartridge for $49.99 each. Pre-orders sell out in seconds.
I'd buy it.
I know exactly. I know you would.
Yeah, I'd buy it straight off.
And then we come to the end. The 8-bit orchestra has played a medley of Sonic music, of classic Nintendo tracks. There's a bit of Dragon Quest in there, some Final Fantasy. It's beautiful. It ends wonderfully. And then we end with the traditional Jeff Keighley hunt, where everyone gets a Segway and a butterfly net, and they have to chase down Jeff and capture him. Winners are given a £10 voucher for Greg's.
I love the annual Jeff Keighley hunt. One of my favourite things of the year.
It's non-violent. It's lovely. Jeff gets a bit of exercise. Gets to do a bit of his cardio as he's running away from nerds on Segways.
Tests out his new shoes.
And it's got a beautiful Sikh pale man. You know what I mean? It's a great hunt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's a great hunt.
So
love it.
Yes. So that's the Gadget and Gizmo show.
I like it.
I like it, but you're all overshadowed by Friday's events. Friday was majestic.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. I think Candy's show wins for the sheer fucking strangeness of it.
My show don't even have a show floor because no one can be asked.
Yours just a piss up with game announcements.
Good games. Good games from good people. Computer game enthusiasts, not gamers. There's a difference. There's a massive difference. Do we have any enthusiasts that... Yeah, no. Presented by me. Do we have any enthusiasts that have written in? I can't imagine many. This is such an oblique topic.
We have 3 of them. The problem was there was a little bit of confusion when Stig put out for feedback. He said gaming show rather than kind of gaming event or press event.
Drunken Stig.
Yes, Captain Drunk himself. But this is what we got. So Xenos has managed to get an idea that's on brand. Says, okay, I have an idea. The electronic I cannot see it. I cannot see
It's
the
cancelled.
word,
We
man.
can't say it.
Prevarication Exposition. It's like the Electronic Prevarication Exposition. It's like E3, but instead of regular games developers, we round up all the people who have demonstrably lied about the things they were going to do in a game over the last year and lock them in a big conference center until they fix their game so it actually does the things it said it would. Previous guests include the guy who said No Man's Sky would have multiplayer at launch, and Peter Molyneux every time he opens his mouth.
Yep.
Ticket holders get to berate developers they have a personal grudge against due to missold products.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I like it.
I can't argue with that.
I mean, it would just be like Peter Molyneux would have like a bed there. He'd be in residence all year long.
It needs a rebranding because it's a difficult title.
Yes. Planty from 100 Things Pod has said, this is one off-brand, said, I've left this a bit late. I'll piggyback on someone else's show to brag about my new game, Punky Muncher. A pet sim where you have to feed your podcaster enough cans, pork scratchings, and potatoes to get his blood up enough to record half an hour of shouting at his guests.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it big style.
And the last one, and if you thought Candy's ravings were that of a mad woman, this is completely different, because Super Natty Cat got very confused about things and had a bit of a back and forth with Stig on Twitter about this one. So I'm going to replay this conversation for you.
Go for it.
Do the voices as well.
Fuck no. I can't do Welsh. I can't do Stig. It starts off with Natty Cat saying, how many cats can you cuddle at once? No rules, just go into a room, pick up a ton of cats, and you keep as many as you can carry. To which Stig replied, I'm so confused. And Nat said, I thought he meant a game show. Okay, the podcast is how many cats can you cuddle at once, but you invite a guest on every week and listeners have to write in and guess. And then at the end, one lucky listener wins all the cats. The end. And Stig replies, no, we meant a gaming show like E3. And she went, fuck! Okay. How many cats can you cuddle at once while playing the latest gaming release? You review the games at the same time, but Todd Howard is there and there's loads of free cat merch and you're in a big arena. It's called C3. The end.
Oh, I'm going.
Todd Howard and cats.
Oh.
Ravings of a madwoman.
Yep.
There's a reason we're friends.
Yes. I want to kind of jump 70 years in the future to see the two of you in the old folks' home together, just like talking back and forth at each other. It'd be like Statler and Waldorf.
Oh, it'd be brilliant. Can't wait.
But with wine.
With wine. All of it.
Yes, that's the end of the mailbox. We'll be much clearer for the next episode.
Absolutely. Excellent. Thank you very much. And as always, links for all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. Next week, we will be talking about college and all the hijinks we got up to in our college days, or like when Biggie in the workhouse or whatever he had back then. But yeah, we're going to talk about college.
With the Artful Dodger.
Yeah, we've done the school days. We've done the school days podcast before even Candy started on this, but we're going to do college days, where teen becomes adult, where you realise you have a choice. You don't have to go in, and all that malarkey. But that is the end of the show. For all our patrons, join us in the green room. We will see you there. But for everyone else, this has been the Modern Escapism Conference, and this has been a podcast. Good night.
Bye.
So she don't whack me in the middle of my sleep. I'm like, ah!